So I just realized that I didn't even go live the entire time. I had a little time, like a little countdown ticker that I had made for you guys so that you would know when I was on, and that I never pressed the go live button. What a dork am I. All right, so I'm hoping that everything runs smoothly. Okay, so let me go over this again. So this here is the little rig that I did about 6 months ago. I think my sound is on. Let me turn that off. About 6 months ago, I actually bought this giant roll of Velcro. And when I got it, my husband was like, what are you going to do with all that Velcro? We're never going to use that Velcro. And I think it was like a 50-foot roll, and I'm down to maybe 5 or 10 feet left because I've Velcroed everything. I Velcroed our remotes to the wall. I Velcroed the things into the car. And so tonight, the Velcro came in handy because I needed a way to put my mold on my little turntable without having it flip off while I'm spinning. Because the idea is to be able to just spin it and spin it and spin it. So what I did was I Velcroed the mold to the Lazy Susan. Let me go back into my software here. Okay, so I Velcroed it to the Lazy Susan. And so it can't come off unless I pry it off. I also used a piece of Velcro to create this little rig right here. And what this is cool for is sitting it in mold, and I'm going to pour the soap into here, and the idea is for the soap to flow out of the sink strainer and just flow into the bottom of the mold in a pretty pattern. So we'll see if that works. And what I've actually done is Velcro this to this so that when I'm done I can pick it up. It needed a little bit of height because you can't just have this sitting in the mold, otherwise the soap will eventually just swallow it. So what we've done here is we Velcroed this to the little, it's not a shot glass, it looks like a shot glass. It actually comes with it comes in with mousse. I got them at Kroger, and they're these little delicious chocolate mousses, which I've stopped eating because they're addictive. And so the idea is to pour the soap. This is heavy enough to sit and actually carry the weight of the soap, and the soap will just flow out. And then when I'm done, I can just stick my hand in here and just pull it right out. So that's what we have. So we're gonna move this aside. And I've already gotten, actually, I'll be right back. I have to go get it out of the microwave. I've already melted the oils that I needed for this batch, so let me go grab those. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I've already melted my oils here. I'm just gonna give them a quick stir. And let's check the temperature. Where is my little thermometer thingy? I have no idea where my thermometer is, but that's okay. Now that I've got my oils all melted and we're waiting for those to cool off just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and measure out the lye that we need. So for the recipe, we need 219 grams of sodium hydroxide. So I'm going to measure that out now. There we go. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. And if you weren't able to catch this live, that's okay. I will edit the video and I will put it on YouTube tomorrow, hopefully by 5 p.m. So let's go ahead and add the lye to my frozen water here. I'm just sending off a quick tweet. Just sending out a quick tweet and a quick Facebook. Oh, goodness. All right. And I want to do Command C. And let's post that to Facebook. All right, one down, one more to go. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just getting these tweets out so we can get some more eyes in here. And like I said, if you have any questions at any time, feel free to ask. Okay, let's close that. Okay, so let's go back to the page so that if you guys are asking me any questions, I can answer for you. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this in. And once I get this all incorporated, I'm going to set it aside. I'm going to show you the colors we're going to be using tonight. Now this month's soap making challenge is to make a black and white soap with an accent color. And I've kind of chewed on the idea of what I was going to do for quite a while, and I'm still not sure if this is going to be my submission or not, but I'm just playing with it. I have a few ideas in mind. We'll see how this one goes first. Over the years, I've learned that with these soap challenges, I'd rather just make one batch that I've put a lot of thought and effort into versus 2, 3, 4 batches that don't quite turn out the way I want. I should put on my safety goggles. I really don't need them because my glasses are huge, but I'm pretty tall, so I ordered a lab coat that was supposed to be long enough for my arms, but still not. Just gotta work with what I got. I move my YouTube over. There. This is my first time streaming on YouTube. I usually stream on Twitch, and my username on Twitch is Zaidat Natural, just like my username on here without the ASMR part. And streaming on Twitch seems to be a bit better. But I really want to make this something that's a regular thing, like once a week. Let me try to get something going. Let me angle this over just a touch. Much better. Okay. My little Christmas hat isn't staying on. And that's a Snapchat filter. It's so cute. I think we're just about melted, and we're going to put this aside. Okay, so tonight we're going to be making 3 different colors. We've got the black. I'm going to be using white as the titanium dioxide is my white portion. And I'm going to be using this really pretty proud peacock color by Nurture Soap. And the colors are going to get poured into this guy right here. So let me zoom back out. Let's put this back here. And what I actually want to do is I want to go and get more of my little shot glasses. Well, actually, I have 2 right here. Never mind. And you know what? We're not even going to do that. We're not going to use these. Because why make more of a mess than we need to? So what we're going to do is put this way out of our way. And we're going to prepare each color. So what I'm going to do That'll be my white. Where is my pipette? There you go. And get a little bit of the oil here. Now, I used to have this pretty color by Nature's Garden called Winter White. I have no idea where it disappeared to. It's just bizarre. I suspect one of the kids took it and did something and figured I wouldn't miss it. So first thing I'm going to mix first is the black. Hey Sierra, how are you? Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm making a tricolor soap tonight. It's going to be black, white, and a peacock, proud peacock blues that I'm really excited to try out. And the thing with black is that you really want to make sure that it's mixed in really well. And I like to mix my black first and just let it sit so that when I'm ready for it, it's nice and saturated. So we'll go ahead and move this aside. We will mix the Proud Peacock first. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much for letting me know. So there's the Proud Peacock, since you're just tuning in. Isn't that pretty? And since this is going to be an accent color, we're just going to use, we're not going to make too much of it. There you go. And put that aside. Let's grab our another spatchy spatch. And I can definitely see this as like a peacock feather color. They have such pretty feathers. And it's really interesting in that it changes color. You see that? It's like blue, then it's green. That is pretty. It's not quite turquoise. Like, I would say like a color that a mermaid would definitely have in her scales. And I don't need these anymore, so let me just toss them aside. And the same thing applies here. I'm going to mix it until it's nice and smooth. And you can see it's nice and smooth now. And I hope my internet is behaving and my stream isn't all glitchy and weird. All right, so now we are ready. Yes, we are ready to make the soap. Let me zoom back out just a little bit. And what I like to do when I make my soap is I always, well, I can't say I always, I just recently started. So I can't really say always, right? But I like to actually strain my lye now, just because sometimes there are particles in the lye. I like to call it lye dandruff that doesn't always dissolve, and then I see it in my soap later and I'm just annoyed. So let's go ahead and pour this in. What are you up to tonight besides watching me? Did you make anything delicious today? The thing with this batch is that I wanted to make sure that it stayed white when I added the color. So I had to find a color that wouldn't turn the entire batter kind of like off yellow the minute I added the fragrance. So did I have to find a color? I had to find a fragrance that wouldn't change my batter color. So when you're doing this and you're just like an ordinary person, you don't have a teleprompter or anything telling you what to say. So I'm winging it. That sounds delicious. We had Mediterranean shrimp salad for dinner. It was so good. And I really only want to mix that just to the point where I know it's incorporated. So let's go ahead and measure out our colors. So let's do the black first. It is, I bought the keto book and it was one of the recipes in there and it was really good. So I'm just doing some math in my head because I got to divide these colors a little bit. And it's not going to be exact. I don't try to like be super exact because it's supposed to be something fun. So when I'm doing like dividing my colors, I don't really care if it's like exact. So I've got total batch weight is 2,263 grams. I got the fragrance oil weight is approximately 50. So I need 2,213 grams and I need like 20%, 40%, 40%. So that's not too hard to figure out. Okay. So let me angle this so I can see it. There's one. I can't stop saying the word spatchy spatch after I saw that meme with Baby Yoda. And it says something like, it shows Baby Yoda, he's holding a spatula, and it's like me watching my future wife cook dinner, and as I stand next to her waiting with my spatchy spatch to help her. I almost like fell out laughing. It was so cute. So I've been saying spatchy spatch ever since. And here we have it. Nice and solid black, smooth, sudsy. And no, the spatula stays right in it. Right, next, let's measure out the same for the white. Baby Yoda is adorable. I've got to get started on watching that show. The kids are on like episode 5 or 6. And if you see me looking like this a lot, it's because my laptop is right there. And so it's hard for me to like look here because this is where my webcam is, and look here, which is where my mirrorless camera is recording everything. So that's why it looks weird. Maybe I'm looking over here and you're probably wondering like, what is she looking at? I'm gonna put a little bit more titanium dioxide in that. Give it a good stir. Give my table a good wipe down. Let me move this to the side. And now let's get this peacock going. I'm a little nervous about this because I'm gonna have to do 2 things at once. I'm gonna have to spin and pour. So this is gonna be exciting. I'm always being like a daredevil when it comes to making soap. And I hope the stream playing smoothly, because where I live, I can't have higher than 25 megabytes per second. And it looks like it's glitching and acting up, even though I'm just like connected directly to the internet with a LAN cord. I think I'm going to switch my filter because my little hat keeps disappearing. Yep, I can see where I keep losing pockets. Maybe we'll keep the hat. Oh. I'm going to go back to the setting that I know works. I'm not listening to YouTube. Okay. Maybe I won't touch it then. All right, cool. All right, so finally we're going to add the fragrance. A little bit here, a little bit there, and the rest right here. We're going to go ahead and mix the fragrance in. I'm going to stir it by hand first, and then I'm going to use my whisk to really get it in there. And I'll do the black last because I'm going to use one whisk. Now this is a dupe of Juicy Couture. It's very fresh, very clean. And as you can see, it didn't change the color of the soap at all, which is awesome. I love it when things work out the way they're supposed to. Okay, so what we're gonna do, take the whisk. I'm just gonna give this, I only use my stick blender once, just to make sure that the lye and the oils incorporate well with each other. And then after that, I hand stir. Because I don't want my batter to thicken up too much. So that's ready. Then we'll go to our next lightest color, which is this one. I want to make sure that the batter, I can't say the word batter today. I want to make sure that the batter stays nice and fluid for what I have in mind. So I don't want it to thicken up. My recipe that I've created though is very well behaved. So I could probably just work with this for the next hour and it will probably still stay this fluid, which sometimes is a great thing and sometimes isn't. All right, so what we're gonna do next is we're going to take this guy right here and make sure it's not dusty. And I'm going to start alternating the colors. And it's mostly going to be black and white with a little bit of the peacock, the proud peacock inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour it down the side. And you might not be able to see it just because it's a weird angle. So let me see if I can angle it so you can see it. There we go. And we're just going to alternate until we've poured all the colors. I think I'll do 2 and 2 and then blue. Because I don't want it to turn into a big muddy mess either. Looks pretty good so far. And I got this idea from an acrylic artist, actually quite a few of them. A lot of their work can translate into soap pretty well. So I got this idea from one artist I was looking at today. Now we'll link below once I'm done so you can check out their page. That's looking wonderful. All right, white is next. And at this point, it kind of gets hard to layer it, so I just kind of shimmy. And I do scrape these out later into these little molds that I use for samples. I just set them aside for now. And I am loving how it's looking already. Alrighty, now for the exciting part. Let's go ahead and get the mold. Let me wipe my area off. It's always important to keep the area clean. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what you may have missed. So this is my mold, and let me zoom all the way back out. Nope. Okay, so we're going to clean up just a little bit more. Move that out of the way. We're going to move this over here, and move this over. Okay, so what I did was I Velcroed my mold to this Lazy Susan so that I can spin it while I'm pouring. I also Velcroed a kitchen strainer. It's brand new. I'll use it for soap. Kitchen strainer to this shot glass kind of thingy. And it's going to sit right here. So while I pour, I'm going to be pouring into there, and I'm going to be spinning at the same time. And I've never done this before, so wish me luck. All right, let me zoom in. Let's see, so that you can really feel like you're here. I'm trying to get like as center as possible. Nope, that's too much. All right, so let's go. Woo, I'm actually like hyperventilating a little bit. Okay. All right, let's get started. Oops. On hindsight, I wish I'd used just a little bit more white, right? So, but it's looking pretty good though. Oh, there's the white. It's finally coming out. My arm's getting a little tired, so let me rest it. Like it's being a little pain in the butt right here and leaking. Which is okay. It'll set up. And now let's pull this on out. All right, so it didn't exactly do what I expected it to do, because I think that I probably had a little bit too much black. But all in all, I'm still quite like it. See if we can get a little bit more flow here. See the movement. I especially love like right here. You can see the swirls a lot right there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the thing that goes inside. I'll be right back. Now this mold usually doesn't leak, but I also usually pour it a thicker batter than this. So, and I also didn't hammer it down like I usually do. So I know the reason why it's doing that. But in about 10 minutes it'll stop and it'll be cool. So let's go ahead and put this guy in here. This is going to separate it into 15 little bars for me. I like to shimmy it just a little bit so that all the bars are even. Push it all the way down. And we are done. Pretty cool. Yeah, it turned a little darker than I expected, so I'm gonna make another one tomorrow just for fun, because like I said, it's for a challenge and the colors are not as striking as I want it to be. I had a vision of like black, white with that little hint of blue. So what I'm gonna do tomorrow is I'm probably going to just make it more white, a very small amount of black, and another color. I have another idea in mind that I'm going to try tomorrow. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in and keeping me company, Sierra, and anybody else out there. And let's tune in tomorrow where I'll take this out and we'll see how they look individually and clean them up and make our next batch. I'll talk to you later. Bye.